Hi and welcome back to Film Pickle. This is Pushkaraj S Shirke and today I am doing a sort of not a review but a critical analysis of the mind-blowing movie Mad Max Fury Road. I decided not to do a review of this movie because Rohan, my partner from Film Pickle, had already reviewed it. So this is more like an analysis of the movie because I found the movie absolutely stunning. Alright. As I had made it public on Facebook, I have rated this movie a 9 out of 10. So did Rohan. Film Pickle has given it a rating of 9 out of 10 because it is an absolutely brilliant movie. Now what I am going to do now is take this movie out part by part and tell you why I loved it so much. Alright, let's start with what makes the movie so awesome, the direction. Right, the movie is directed by George Miller, who directed the original franchise, right, who directed the original Mad Max series. And for him to come out with this movie so many years later and do a reboot that is actually absolutely integratable into the originals is absolutely brilliant. It's amazing the way he has done it. It pays to have the same director do the reboot because he is so in tune with the idea, he's so in tune with the character, and over time he has grown in his skills as a director as well. If you know, George Miller is the same guy who's given us Happy Feet, which is at the other spectrum of Mad Max. If you see Mad Max, which is action, gritty, gore, and otherworldly in terms of, you know, almost apocalyptic. Whereas you see Happy Feet is happy, it's cute, it's cutesy, it's like, oh, it's full of penguins and animation. It's not even real actors, it's animation, and he's carried it out so beautifully well. And this director now comes back to Mad Max and he brings a movie that truly outdoes all the other Mad Max movies ever made. And George Miller's direction is brilliant. He brings the story out to life the way you want to see Mad Max, literally almost as if this is the way you have been waiting to see Mad Max for the past 9, 10, 11 years, I don't know how long. And George Miller has just literally allowed the idea to ferment in his head and brought it out in such a beautiful way. I don't think anybody else could have done it better. So this is an absolute George Miller movie. It will go down as the best Mad Max movie ever, unless he obviously makes another one which is even better than this one, which seems unlikely because this one is absolute perfection. Alright, coming to the art and costumes of this movie. Production design is an aspect of filmmaking which I absolutely love, I absolutely am interested about. If there's one thing in a movie that makes me go crazy about the movie, it's the production design. I don't know, I've always been a stickler for production design, a stickler for cinematography, and production design is something that is absolutely close to me. Even when I was a kid and I saw Blade Runner for the first time, I didn't even understand the movie, but I was awe-stricken by the art and costumes in the movie, and that is what draws me to movies. And that is what in this film is absolutely brilliant. The art and costume of a movie literally have the capacity to take you from your real world and transport you into a world which you cannot believe is possible and make you believe that yeah, you are there, that is a reality. The unimaginable becomes a reality for you. That's the power of good production design, right? And Mad Max does it throughout the movie. All the art direction, all the costumes are absolutely apocalyptic, distressed, end of the world, grunge, gritty, hardcore. It is Mad Max. It is the world of Mad Max. You can imagine the scenario, right? When you see the art and costumes, nothing seems out of place. A lot of people, when they try to make period movies or try to make sci-fi movies or try to make movies that are out of our current time, end up messing up art direction and the costumes big time, especially in terms of just getting costumes made and putting them onto their characters. I won't name a director, but recently a director made a movie in which he made a period film and all the costumes look fucking brand new. That's not how you do costume design. If you check out Mad Max, the costumes, all of them are distressed, are researched. They fit into the Mad Max world. It's what people in a survival situation would wear, would carry. The color themes obviously are maintained very well throughout the movie. It's all in grays and gritty whites and off-whites and browns and dark browns, shades of dark red, maroon, earthy colors, right? And he's maintained all of that. He's for the smallest detail, all right, a simple bracelet that Mad Max wears on his hand, Most people think it's an ordinary bracelet. It's not. It is something that Navy SEALs wear. It's what special tactical forces wear. It is what people going out camping wear. It's called a survival bracelet. You can open it up into a rope and use it as a rope when you need to. A lot of attention to detail has been paid in making of these costumes. The coat that Mad Max wears has grooves for knives, has grooves for guns, magazines, anything that he may need to carry. He's carrying a rope on his shoulder. He's wearing a shoulder pad, which is an adaptation from the football, the gear that football athletes wear, the American soccer athletes wear. All right. All the costumes in the movie are functional. All right. The entire movie revolves around survival being your only instinct. It is what you would wear if you were absolutely and only conscious of function, function, and function. Fashion comes secondary. And the movie has it, and yet it makes all of this look fashionable. It makes all of it look like the world of Mad Max. It makes a statement and turns it into fashion. That is real good costume design, and I won't be surprised if Mad Max really takes away the Oscars for production design this year. Right? Let me come for a bit to the production design, all right, to the art direction part of it. Now, apart from the world of Mad Max, the landscape, which is a desert, barren land, and obviously very well visualized, very well put, and actually shot on location with very little touches from CG, right? You come to the very elements that make this movie, which is the guns, the cars, the weaponry, and the bikes, all right? All of them, all the things that I mentioned are absolutely amazingly done. They're not just visually appealing. All of them have a lot of research going behind them. The number of spikes in the cars, the kind of engines in the cars, the way the cars are mounted, the way the bikes are constructed. These are actually, if you take, for example, just the bike scenes, right? All those bikes are actual real dirt bike looks, right? They look like dirt bikes, but they're highly functional, very good engines, very powerful engines, which would be able to survive in a situation like that, which would be worthy of a character like Mad Max, right? They load it up the way a traveler, a camper loads it. They're just tied up with strings with lots of stuff mounted onto it. The bags are gritty, jute, attached on front of the handle, tied up, right? When people are backpacking, when people are actually road tripping, that is how they travel, and that is what the world of Mad Max is, and all the equipment, all the bikes and cars used in the movie were exactly that. Come to the cars for a bit, all right? You're looking at a world which is way ahead of now. It is an almost post-apocalyptic world, so there's not much digital electronic stuff in the cars. The cars are absolutely toned down, gritted down, sandpapered down to their very basics. The switches are manual, the controls are analog, the steerings are removable and you can remove one steering and put another. That all stuff is what makes it brilliant. Chrome is looked up to as something only the elite can have. It is seen to be a possession of the gods. People spray chrome paint on their mouth, and that is amazing. That is amazing how you look at a scene. As the director himself would explain it, like George Miller has gone on record to say this, like in a world like that of Mad Max, you would literally try and save every bit of decoration you can get, because it's a world devoid of decoration. So even a small little trinket you get, a chrome little shiny thing you get, you would worship it, you would keep it with you, you would not let it go. These colors, these shines are important to you. So you see, only the elite have the shinier, glossier vehicles, whereas all the warmongers have the gritted down, sandpapered down, very basic, rugged, welded, open chassis kind of vehicles carrying them. And this is what makes it so iconic. I'm not surprised if we end up with a lot of photo shoots and theme shoots coming up with the themes of Mad Max soon, because visually the imagery was absolutely stunning, right? And that is what makes the production design of this movie brilliant. Coming next to the music of Mad Max. 2 minutes into the movie, I was like, okay, I'm watching a movie. From the second minute on, all the way till the end, I was rushing with adrenaline. The movie was that brilliant, and what kept the pace of this movie that brilliant is the amazing underscore music of the movie that was playing on constantly in the background when the dialogues are being delivered, when the scenes are happening. The music never stopped holding your interest, and that speaks volumes about the composition of music in the movie, because it is not just any random track. Every track has a story, every track adds to the story, every track adds to the narrative. You feel the action actually because of background scores, which keeps on mounting it up, mounting up till it goes boom in your face with all those amazing explosions, and amazingly graphic, gory scenes that are filmed in the movie. All right, the music is what carries it all. In fact, the movie also has a character called the Doof Warrior, who is basically your post-apocalyptic world equivalent of the war drummers. You know, the guys who play the drums to keep the tempo, to keep the rage and adrenaline of the warriors high. So you have this Doof Warrior who is hanging from a doof wagon, carrying huge shitloads of speakers and playing an electric guitar to keep up the tempo of the warriors. And that sound actually makes the movie so much more richer. Coming to the cinematography, a lot of action films, when they do the cinematography nowadays, rely a lot on CG, rely a lot on absolutely closed moving around shots that in which you can't make out what the hell is happening, but not Mad Max. Mad Max, the cinematography allows you to soak in the action, right? Even when there is a large short action happening where people are jumping and blowing up shit, it doesn't get you so close to the action that you feel what the fuck is happening. You're there for a moment and then you're out. You're allowed to soak in the action that is happening. You can see the guy going down onto the car and blowing it up, boom, and then you're back into the scene, right? This is something that a lot of modern action movies have lacked. You know, I was utterly disappointed with Winter Soldier, in which all the action was happening at such close quarters. It was disturbing to look at it on screen. But not with Mad Max. In Mad Max, you enjoy every action scene because it allows you for just the enough bit to be a part of the action and then get out of it and soak it in as brilliant as it looks, right? The slow motions are perfect, the high speed shots are perfect, the long shots are perfect, the close-ups, everything is perfect, everything just adds to the movie. In fact, I never got to a point in the movie where I looked at the cinematography for story. Okay, I'll come to the point that story is a weak part of this movie later, but as far as the action is concerned, this cinematography is how action should be shot. It is brilliant action cinematography. I don't think anybody in the last 10 years has done it better. This was brilliant. All right. Coming to the weak parts of the movie, the acting and the story. All right. The acting, apart from Charlize Theron, nobody in the movie really acts. All right. But the costumes and the art is so brilliantly done. The characters are so covered up. The villain is a modern equivalent of Darth Vader, a post-apocalyptic version of Darth Vader, which is brilliant. His son has half his face covered throughout the movie. So I don't know if it's a ploy by the director or if it's a legit thing for the characters he had thought of, but it actually helps. When you have actors, you cannot absolutely rely on their acting skills, but more for their personality. It is a gimmick that actually works. Okay, you never see the face of the villain. You never see the face of the villain's son, who is Nathan. All right, and such a ploy can actually carry you out because you are engrossed in the character. You're not engrossed in the acting of that character. When such a strong character even has a small flaw in acting, it can ruin the entire feel of the movie for you. But it does not happen so in Mad Max. Even though you never really get to see amazing acting from any of the characters, all of their character personalities are alive. All of their character personalities are intriguing you. Even Nux, who has actually performed really well as an actor, right? He and Charlize Theron are the two actors you can note in the movie. Their emotional feelings are actually conveyed to you very well through their subtle performances. Even when they go overboard, even when they softly just look at you, their performances are there. You can feel them, and that is about it. What needs to carry this movie across, and it did for me. Even though I did not actually get to see into the performances of all the other actors despite watching the movie twice, right? So acting apart, in terms of story is where the movie actually lacked quite a bit because it's a very linear story. You know what is going to happen. It's very predictable. But having said that, despite the story being very linear and very predictable, it was very true to the core of its Mad Max theme. It was very gripping for all the action scenes to take place. It allowed the action scenes a world in which they were believable. And the screenplay, the way in which it was structured and written, was very well done. All right. In a screenplay, one of the points you look at is something that is established in the beginning or suggested in the beginning carries on towards the end as well, which if you watch Mad Max, you will know what I'm talking about. All right. A lot of good movies, you will notice this. And even Mad Max had it, which is why I cannot actually say the story to be ridiculously bad. It is a good story, but just not as great as the rest of the movie. But that is why I give Mad Max a 9 out of 10. This movie is definitely one of my top 5 favorite action films of all time, and deservedly so. I hope you enjoyed my critical analysis of Mad Max. Let me know if you have any feedback or any other movie that you would like me to analyze or review for you. This is Pushkaraj S Shirke signing out for Film Pickle. See ya.